Me and Cooper are the worst, most sucker MCs in the world. We have bad breath, we smell bad, and everybody that we've dated cheats on us because we're not good partners. We have bad teeth and they're rotting, and we're poor, and we come from a bad family, and there's photos of our girlfriends sucking other guys' dicks. All right, welcome to Cooper and Shane's Secret Podcast. Hey, I've been told that there's another podcast that has a similar name. Can you explain anything about this other podcast? I've never heard of it before.
Well, they're a lot more successful. One of the guys has the same name as you. I think it's pretty good if we just sort of stay out of their waters as much as we can.
Why?
Well,
because I looked them up after you mentioned the name. They're like the first most popular Patreon.
Yeah.
Why do we not just kind of ride on their coattails of being like, well, somebody's like trying to find them, they find us?
Because if they even tried to find them, there's no world in which we show up. There's no
what
like,
if they like really hardcore misspell Matt?
The algorithm, you were looking for this famous podcast. Oh no, you got this not famous one. That's not what the algorithm will do everything it can to get you to a famous person. You could type in the podcast name that you want for us, Cooper and Shane Secret Podcast.
Yeah.
And it would still show up as the other one.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you 100% positive?
I'm 100% positive. And it'll probably...
So are you also saying it's a bad idea to change our name at the episode 10?
Yeah.
I've been trying to pitch ideas for the podcast, and they've always been shot down by Cooper.
Well, because all your ideas have been, should we change the name to the Adam Friedland Show? And I said no. And then you said,
I didn't say that.
I
said we should change it to the Cooper Friedland Show.
Yeah, and I was like, once again, that's too close. And then also not my name. And then you were like, should we change it to the Your Mom's House with Cooper podcast? And I was like, well, Your Mom's House is a podcast.
What about Coopertown?
And then you said Coopertown, and I'm like, that's kind of the farthest we've gotten away, but I can tell you still started at Cumtown. And then you're like, well, what if we called it?
I've never heard of any of these podcasts. What if we called it
by B and Ian with Cooper and Shane? And I was like, well, that's Ian Fidance's podcast. you used his. You keep.
What about the Joe
names.
Rogan Experience starring Cooper and Shane?
That would be a very funny name.
Yeah,
it would be very funny to do that. But once again, I think
we were going to start a comedy show in Nashville called the Bill Burr Morning Podcast, Monday Morning Podcast.
Yeah. So it just seems like a live version of this podcast. That seems like something he'd be like kind of pissed about for like 2 seconds because it's fucked up to do to somebody. But then also be like, that's kind of funny. Yeah, it's an open mic. Once you find out it's an open mic, you'd be like, "Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter."
Yeah,
these people aren't stealing from me.
Yeah, it's a short white guy and then a short Filipino guy.
Nobody ever like showed up thinking it was gonna be Bill Burr, right?
We didn't name it that, but we were gonna name it that. We did end up naming it. We named another show Richard Pryor Live on the Sunset Strip 2. Yeah.
Nice.
It was originally, the original poster was going to be, he made a poster that was just like a mocked up like Bill Cosby poster, but it was like, then somebody was like, hey, you might get the venue in trouble. And we were like, oh no, we don't want to do that.
Right. Well, that's smart. Can you do that with specials? Can I just release like Richard Pryor Live from Long Beach 2, parentheses featuring Cooper, and I'm in the same exact outfit? I'm in like a red shirt and like black pants and gold shoes.
That's already how you dress, though.
I know it's already.
That's how you dress like that all the time, and it has nothing to do with Richard Pryor. I told you about Richard Pryor last week, and you were like, "Wait, that guy dresses exactly like how I dress on stage all the time."
I wear silk button-up shirts, black bell-bottom pants, gold clogs.
Yeah, it's either that or your alligator shoe outfit, where you're naked except you're wearing alligator shoes,
which is a look.
It's style.
It's style.
It's style for Gen Z. If some of the people that are listening are going to be millennials, they have no clue what fucking Gen Z is all about, but
yeah.
Sometimes we wear alligator shoes, we got our fucking tighty-whities on.
Hey, message to the millennials, you take your pills yet?
Oh yeah, message to the millennials, yeah, you take your pills for how to be bullshitters? You take how to lie to everyone about everything in your entire life?
Hey,
man, fuck you, dude.
Hey, millennials, your grandkids stealing your pills from you?
Yeah.
You old fucks. You're old.
Oh, I didn't realize that was the bit. That they were old. I thought the bit was just that they have to take pills because they go to therapy like losers.
Yeah, that's also something we believe.
Yeah. If you go to therapy, stop listening to the podcast. Why do you need the podcast? You already have a therapist. You don't need to listen to us.
And if you're listening to the podcast, you don't have a therapist, just know that you don't need to go to therapy.
You just need to listen to more Dagnabbit boys. You need to subscribe. You need to send us $5. Shane-Showbiz is the Venmo. And I will not share it with Cooper.
I had a good day in therapy recently. I had a good moment where I realized that having anger issues as a child made me get in trouble a lot as a child. And then it taught me to just hate myself. And that was a big breakthrough in therapy. And I don't know what to do with it yet, but it makes me feel better about things.
So I heard that you, in order to go to therapy, you fly to Boys Town in Chicago, the gay part of Chicago, because the gay part of LA isn't gay enough for you to go to therapy there.
I don't even go to therapy in the gay part of LA. I go to therapy in Burbank. It's not the gay part of LA. I definitely don't go all the way to Boys Town. Never been to Boys Town. Nobody in Boys Town knows me.
I went to Boys Town one time.
And they all knew you.
They all had signs
said,
that
hey,
say,
here's the king of gay.
No, they said, hey, we've never met you before, but we know that you know Cooper Lydon. And I go, how did you know that? And they're like, we could just tell by your dead eyes that you've encountered Cooper Lydon one time.
What city has like the biggest gay part? Like LA, San Francisco, Chicago, or New York?
Probably New York, right?
I don't know.
It's got to be New York or San Francisco. I will say
is
that
New York the West Village or the East Village or
Greenwich Village, right?
Am I getting too specific?
It's Village something.
I don't know if New York's gay part is like as aggressively defined as LA and SF. I feel like SF and LA, it's like you're walking in Tijuana, like you know you're there. In New
I
York,
don't think West Hollywood is that gay though. Like in comparison to like
parts of Santa Monica are very gay.
Oh,
it's like a gay strip. I feel like you don't go there.
Yeah, I guess I don't.
I mean, if you really drive down that street, it's like they got like rainbows painted into the street, and it's just like gay bar, sex shop. Like
I guess I have been there before. I don't know why, but for some reason it doesn't feel like. I don't know. It doesn't feel. It feels like there's gay. It's like the gay part of town, but it's also just like everyone also lives here. This is also West Hollywood. This is the famous part of LA.
Kind of, but it's like there's a concentration.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it that.
I would say Boys Town, Chicago is the gayest place I've been. Just because it's I remember I walked past a gay strip club and it was just open windows. And I was like, huh. You can just look in there and see. You can see some cock and ass.
Was it during Pride Month?
No.
Was it like October? Weren't the boys cold?
It was like August.
Yeah, how they got the windows open in August?
No, the windows weren't open. It was just the windows were just you could just see through them. They were just regular windows. You can see a guy in a thong.
So at gay bars, you can see through the windows?
You can see through this specific one. There's guys dancing.
You can see through gay windows?
Yeah.
Gay windows are see-through? Got him.
Yeah.
Got him.
You did get him.
So this whole Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing...
We're going to have to say everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
They're both winners.
It sucks because Kendrick called Drake a pedophile and Drake said...
I didn't do it.
Drake said, I knew you would call me a pedophile. And then it was clear that nobody could choose a winner.
Yeah, everybody was like, huh. He called him a pedophile, but the other guy denied it. If Drake had come out and said, I'm a pedophile, so what? Maybe it might be ambiguous who the winner is. But now we don't know.
Nice for what? For these kids, I gotta be piping up. All these kids, I gotta be. That kind of worked. Yeah, he fucks kids. But it's so hard to choose a winner in this one, you know? Because, like, one guy's, like, a really talented rapper who kind of, like, dismantled Drake and called him a pedophile. And the other is, like, probably a pedophile. So, you know.
I don't know. I mean, they're both very talented rappers, and they both gave as good as they got. they, you know.
What are you talking about?
I just listened to both of their tracks, and I thought, well, I'm stumped.
Did you give a shit about that?
Yeah, that's why it pissed me off so much that they both won.
I thought
I was rooting for Kendrick. I was rooting so hard for Kendrick, but Drake just let him have it in that last song.
The last song that everybody listened to and remembers?
Yeah, everybody was like, that song's really good. All of Kendrick's songs have been good, and all of Drake's songs have been good. And as a avid Kendrick fan, as a man who was on the committee that helped him get voted for the Pulitzer, they got to give Drake a Pulitzer now.
For being a pedophile?
No, he said he wasn't a pedophile. Did you not listen to the song?
He said, I'm too famous to be a pedophile. Which historically...
Yeah, did you not listen to the fucking song? He literally said that. It's like you read somebody's opinion on the song.
I don't believe him, I think. I think he's a pedophile.
Why? What's the proof other than one guy said he's a pedophile, he said he wasn't?
That's enough. I mean...
This is so stupid, dude.
I mean, he texted Millie Bobby Brown a lot.
What'd he text her?
They would talk all the time when she was like 15.
Maybe they're friends.
You can't do that.
Me and you are friends. I'm 26, you're 24.
Yeah. And if you were a 15-year-old girl, this would be different.
Would it?
What if I did a podcast with a 15-year-old girl and just released it every week and just publicly was hanging out with a 15-year-old and people are like, what is this? I'm like, we're doing a podcast.
Well, obviously you're not a pedophile if you're releasing all your conversations with a 15-year-old.
Yeah, what do you mean I'm a pedophile? I'm literally filming all of our interactions and showing it to the world. That's the least pedophilic thing you could do.
Yeah, I mean, so you will concede. You will concede this, that Drake and Millie Bobby Brown, probably just friends.
No, he's a pedophile. I don't think he had sex with her, but he wanted to because he's a pedophile. He's trying to groom her.
Just because you want to have sex with a kid doesn't mean you did it ever.
It does make you a pedophile, though.
All right, maybe he's a pedophile.
Oh, cool.
Maybe he is.
Thanks for coming over.
But still a tie.
Why?
Because, I don't know, Kendrick was being pretty mean. I don't know, the meanness kind of, it was like, oh, you're kind of being a little bit too mean.
Wait, you think the meanness of Kendrick's diss lost him the beef?
I don't think he lost, but I think
when has that ever
tied.
been true? Is that diss has been too
Jay-Z.
mean?
Jay-Z said that thing about the guy's kid, and then everyone was, or Nas's kid. Everybody's like, hey, dude, Buster. Like,
well, there's like mean, and then there's like petty. I'm sure people are mad at Jay-Z for being petty.
But it's pretty petty to call someone a pedophile.
It's not. He's a pedophile.
If I called you a pedophile, everyone would be like, look at this petty guy.
Well, you'd be wrong. But if you called Drake a pedophile, people would say, look at that correct man being correct, saying correct things that are true.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on who won, because I don't think anyone won. It seems to me you have an obvious Kendrick bias, and as me, a man who was a member of the Pulitzer committee and helped...
How'd you get on that committee?
I asked really hard.
No.
I was like, hey man, I'm like a huge Kendrick fan. I've never read a book before.
You can't get on the eating shit for breakfast committee. You think you could get on the Pulitzer Prize committee?
I can't get on the eating shit for breakfast because I'm banned.
Yeah.
I got banned because I was eating it for
being
lunch.
Ugly.
I was eating it for lunch. I was eating it for dinner.
Yeah, you dumbass.
They said this is just for the guys who eat it for breakfast. I'm like, I eat it for every meal. And they're like, you're too into shit. You're too into eating it.
Trying to hate on me because I eat poop.
I don't. I'm too famous to eat poop.
I'm too famous to eat poop. I knew you'd say I eat poop. Y'all all think I eat poop.
I spread a rumor I eat poop.
Yeah,
I told my buddy to say that I eat poop, but I actually don't, and you fell for that. Ha ha.
Drake's really bad at defending himself. He still does it with too much confidence. You got to be like, hey, I'm not a fucking pedophile. But he's just like, ha ha, I expected that. And then like still smiles, and it's like, dude, you have to be visibly upset after being called a pedophile, and you don't seem very upset about it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you got called a pedophile, which is like,
you think he just doesn't think it's a bad thing?
Well, of course not. He's a pedophile.
He's just like he takes being called he takes being called a pedophile. Like if I was like, you wearing a black shirt, you're like, I knew you'd say that. Ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be so sick if he was called a pedophile, and then his next song was like, agreed. And then he starts rapping, and it's like, wait, he just agreed to that one, and then write a whole diss about Kendrick's hair or some shit? Like, you can't agree.
Yeah, he's like, I might be a pedophile, but Kendrick look like a kid. He's short ass.
I fuck kids, but Kendrick is ashy. And he's like, what? He's not ashy. Guy's shiny as hell, first off, so you're just wrong. Second off, you're a pedophile, man. You can't do that.
I saw who is that woman that's like insane? Azalea Banks, right?
The rapper, yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool. I like her.
Well, she was like kind of basically like, yeah, Kendrick lost because he's short.
No, she was on Drake's side.
Kind of, yeah. She's on Drake's side, but she's also a crazy person.
You can never guess Azalea Banks' opinions. You
Yeah,
never know where she's gonna go. A lot of times she's pretty right.
but on this one, she was just like, "You ain't a real man, Kendrick."
Because he's short. That was
Yeah,
her point.
because he's short.
Okay.
What's crazy is like 70% of the population believes that.
What is she up to? She's still doing music?
I don't know.
She just in New York cutting off chickens' heads and stuff.
Yeah, she's hanging out with Mariana Abramovich.
What is
You
that?
remember that?
What's that kind of rapping she does? Is there a name of that style where she's like, if the man don't dance, turn the band sound, you know? What is that? What do you call that?
Cooper style rapping.
Oh, come on, dog. Wait, who are you talking about? She's hanging out with who? The Russian czar's wife or something?
Abramovich. Do you remember Abramovich? Like, remember when they were calling all the like politicians pedophiles because they hang out with that woman Abramovich?
Okay, there's like a Ghislaine type person, I guess.
No, she's like a performance artist, but she does like, you know, because she's a performance artist, she does creepy shit, so they thought it was like satanic.
And politicians hang out with her?
I guess so, yeah. Her name's like Mariana Abramovich.
So she's just an artist that people get scared by and
Yeah, she's just Yoko Ono, basically.
Man, somebody can just Yoko Ono out, then everybody's like, maybe they're fucking kids.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they just suck at art. They just suck at art.
They're just loud, dude.
Yeah. Is she good at art?
I don't know. I thought Yoko was pretty good. This is I thought you were going into P. I just like that she's weird. Like, have you listened to that album she put out with her Plastic Ono band? That's like a pretty good album.
She's just like screaming a lot?
Yes, it's a lot of screaming.
Yeah, I don't really like. I historically haven't really liked the art of Yoko Ono. I don't hate Yoko Ono. But
I think she's like if you give her a shot, she's better than people say she is.
at what?
At just
Music?
avant-garde music.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is it's like she's like an avant-garde artist, and then she's hanging out with like one of the most.
The least avant-garde band of all time.
Yeah, so it's like anybody in that fan base is gonna be like, I don't want to listen to the origins of noise music.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I guess, is almost what she's trying to do, because now that's big in Japan.
Yeah.
You seen that where they like put a microphone inside of a snare drum and then put it on a plastic table and just sort of like bang their head on the drum?
I was talking with my roommate about
Is she like a pioneer in that almost?
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
"Ah!"
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? So like if you're in, am I right in saying noise music? Is it?
Yes, I would say
So
yes.
if you're into noise music in 2024 and you're talking about the goats, like you're Elvis,
Yeah.
one of them would kind of be Yoko Ono, or at least as like a pioneer of like,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
kind of opened the door.
I was going to say
So she wasn't just copying stuff. She was somewhat at the forefront of something.
yes.
Okay. I just want to make
But
that. I want to clarify that. Hey,
I want to say between Drake and Yoko Ono is a tie. The Yoko Ono Drake feud.
yeah, because he was like,
He said, yeah, I'm all.
you should have never been in the studio. He told you to get back, and then she was like, you know, for like 10 minutes. That was her response.
That's a fucking...
For like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't want to yell into the
No,
microphone, but you can do it.
yeah, it's all right. I don't know why I can't, but yeah.
You're allowed to do it. I just get
you know that
self-conscious.
famous video where she's playing with Chuck Berry and John
Yeah,
Lennon?
yeah.
You know what's so funny about that video is that was like, what's really interesting about, because if you haven't seen the video, it's Chuck Berry, John Lennon, Yoko Ono, and then John's band, and they're all playing Johnny Be Good, and they're playing it totally normally, the classic way you play Johnny Be Good, except Yoko Ono keeps going, ah! And like over, and eventually they turn off her mic. But it's really funny because that was also her ruining a big moment for her own husband, because that was the first time he played with Chuck Berry, I think.
Yeah.
And Chuck Berry's like, you know, pretty much like his top 3 heroes. So it's like he's getting to live out his dream, and then she's just ruining it. It's like sucks. Because some people are like, Chuck hates Yoko. And it's like, obviously.
Yeah.
That makes sense. They don't know each other. But think about what's going through John's head, where he's like, damn, this is the life I've built. This is also the life I've built. And I have to live both right now. They cut off her mic, so they had a good time, but
It is hilarious that, I mean, three seminal artists meet. One of them's hated.
yeah, so one artist, two from rock and roll.
Yeah, one from noise music.
One from noise music. I guess maybe if you look at Yoko Ono and her musical appearances in that way, it's kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Of just like, yeah, this is the greatest rock musician, or one of, and this is one of the greatest noise musicians.
Yes.
This is what an album of theirs together sounds like.
And it pisses off they're both pissed off.
Well, I think the simple answer is that noise music does not collab with any other music.
What about noise rock?
Like a music without any tempo or beat or melody, rhyme or lyrics.
I remember
Doesn't have a place with the beat.
I used to drive to school, and I would listen to a lot of noise music, noise rock, and it sounds so gross sometimes that I would purposefully turn it down when I drove past the elementary school, because there was something that felt sexually creepy about it.
Yeah, there's something about that sound that could also lose innocence for a kid.
Yeah.
That's how bad the music is, even without the context.
Well, yeah.
What does that sound like? It's just a bunch of distorted guitar?
Well, I was listening to this sort of so Nick Cave's The Birthday Party?
I know Nick Cave.
Well, he had a rock band in the early 80s. It's a very sleazy sounding fucking music.
Sleazy.
It's it kind of sounds like strip club music a little bit.
Okay, so
I've actually seen no, not really. But I've actually seen porn ads that have used noise rock. Cuz there's something just very grimy and sleazy
some of this?
about it.
Because I'm confused as to how this is grime. Because all I'm imagining is I've seen videos of all I've seen from noise music is people in Japan doing
not noise music. I'm talking about noise rock, some of the shit out of Chicago.
You just keep saying these words like they mean things to me, and they don't. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the delineation you just made is I don't know what that would be. Let me tell you what I'm seeing.
Scratch Acid would be.
That's another word I don't.
That's a band that's from Austin. A lot of that shit comes from Austin. Dude.
I'm talking about what I know of noise music. Japanese guy, long hair, plastic picnic table, snare drum, microphone, hitting the drum, falling on it, putting all his body weight on the drum, moving the drum around, making the sounds of the side and the insides of the drum.
Yes.
And that's what people listen to. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about it's just kind of noisy rock music.
But is there drums, bass, guitar?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Vocals?
Yes.
So is it almost like disorganized heavy metal or a thrasher thing?
You can compare it to sludge metal, I guess, sometimes, but
How do you define sludge metal? It's
sludge metal is it's very heavy. I don't know how to define any of this.
I mean, it's definitely tough through words. Can you play a little bit of it for our audience and for me?
All right.
Do you think any of these guys are going to come after us in the copyright if we play a couple seconds of their song?
No.
Just try and not play more than 5 seconds so we don't get a lawsuit from a sludge metal band. Go to the...
Are we playing sludge metal or noise rock?
Noise rock, sorry.
All right.
I'm sorry to be so disrespectful. I'm still learning. I'm like a grandpa. I know all the pronouns for all gender and all stuff like that, but when it comes to...
I'm going to play Jesus Lizard. This is a very...
When it comes to metal subgenres...
When it comes to...
I was making a joke. While you were wasting time, I was making a joke for the audience. Then
okay.
And now it's been 10 seconds to nothing. There's been nothing to listen to. I had something I was building
I'm pulling it up on fucking YouTube.
I know.
This is a song about
telling
prison.
a joke. Well, give you time.
This is a song about gay prison rape by Jesus Lizard.
Put the speaker up to it. No, the speaker. This is noise rock?
Yeah. It's a song about prison rape.
To me, that if I heard that, I'd be like, this is punk.
It's kind of, it's influenced by punk. I could have played something more aggressive, I guess, but I just wanted to play... Because this guy has another band called Scratch Acid, which is a little bit sleazier and more birthday party influenced. And
Hey, what's your band like? It's a little sleazier, more birthday party influenced. It's funny to say that without knowing any of the context. What do you mean birthday party? It's like, it's like birthday party.
It's like the Nick Cave heroin band from
You mean
the
it's
80s.
like a birthday party? No, it's like birthday party. What are
Yeah,
you,
the birthday
fucking
party.
Eastern European? It's like birthday party? I do like I like there's something about Scandinavians making weird music. Like something about Young Lean was calming to me because he would make that music that at the time was very new in rap and stuff. But then you talk to him, but then you don't talk to him. I don't talk to him. Nobody ever
I'm
talks
friends
to me.
with him.
But
He was on the Pulitzer committee for Kendrick Lamar.
You'd see him in interviews, and he's just very chill. And you're like, there's something calming about like a very chill acting guy who makes like weird, ridiculous music.
I never listened to Young Lean.
Really?
I only know him personally.
He was a big part of our generation.
Oh, huh.
You're aware of him?
I'm just learning of him.
No, you're lying.
Maybe if I heard a song, maybe
2014 to 15, that was a big time for Young Lean.
2014 to 15, I was sleeping on my parents' couch.
Go on YouTube on your phone. I'll look up a song. You'll have heard it. This is our music episode. We haven't had one yet.
Yeah, is that what the title's going to be? It's going to be called Cooper and Shane's Secret Podcast Music Episode.
No, we're still calling it the normal title. I'm just showing you and the whole episode will get taken down for copyright as we just keep playing music. But
Young Lean.
Yeah, let me show you one. Just search it. I'll play one for you. Let me see.
All right.
Yeah, this was his famous one. So this is the one you would recognize.
Yeah.
Everybody was wearing windbreakers. Remember that?
Kind of.
Everybody was boys. They were sad boys, emotional boys. It's almost the birth of e-boys, but the dirty or grungy version.
Do you think our generation is angrier than millennials?
I think we take more of, we go past anger and more to kind of resignation. And I think sometimes that resignation is why Gen Z is not really picking up the word policing as much as millennials did. Millennials had a lot of like optimism about changing, I don't want to say human nature, but changing the way people operate forever. They thought they could just do that. And I don't think Gen Z thinks we can do that.
I was thinking about...
I think the perception is that we think we can, but I don't think if you talk to most Gen Z kids, they really have faith.
I was thinking about the Gen Z people I know. And I don't know a bunch. But they all seem to look at most millennials as bullshitters. And I was thinking about that yesterday, because I was like watching, like, sometimes you'll see like your millennial friends like say something that's like supposed to be feminist, but then you know that they don't actually care that much.
Yeah.
And it's like you look at that like, oh, you're kind of a bullshitter.
Well, that's what I'm talking about with the resignation, is I think Gen Z looks at a lot of the efforts of millennials with like putting on a pink pussy hat and telling people you can't say certain words as their effort of making the world better, and being like, wow, what a pathetic, really just
and
like
it didn't work.
Self-obsessed attempt at helping the world.
Yeah.
That was like self-obsessed just in the way that it had no concept of lending a hand or an olive branch to the people you're expressing these new ideas to, and was more so just sort of like, this is it, and if you don't like it, fuck you.
And in a weird way, they tend to hate people that are different from them. They hate them so much.
Yeah, I mean, millennials for the most part just approach every situation with, I'm fed up.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, you're the most annoying person to talk to. I hope you know that, because you're fed up from the start. And Gen Z is more just like, there's nothing even to be fed up by. It's just sort of like, I don't know, man. It seemed pretty rough since I was conscious, so...
Yeah, I mean, I never got to know the splendor of the towers.
Yeah.
All millennial, they grew up being like, well, you know, if there's no hope in the world, there's at least those two towers that we care a lot about.
I think to millennials' credit, their thing of being very fed up acting is they were kind of the first generation to fully realize they weren't going to retire or own homes. Because like even Gen X got that, you know what I mean? Millennials are kind of the first to be like, oh, there's nothing. And then we're the generation after to be like, yeah, there's nothing, idiots.
Yeah.
And are just sort of seem more, I don't know, accepting that there's some things are unchangeable. Like, I think in sort of maybe a sad way, I feel like Gen Z is a little more resigned to how powerful the machine is and that you can't really fight it. But also that lends us to, we kind of speak more wild because we're like, well, this is all we have.
Yeah.
We're just like a bunch of Trumps, pretty much. of just like literally all I can do is just talk.
I don't know. There's been some people in Gen Z doing some good stuff, like the protests.
There's always good people, you know.
Yeah, like the protests are good. I feel like the protests, I mean, what is the millennial equivalent? Like Occupy Wall Street? Was that millennials?
Yeah, I mean, our Gen Z protests have the same effect as a millennial protest.
Yeah.
I also think any protest I've been to has probably been started by a millennial. I don't think a Gen Z person started it. But I don't know, maybe. But
I was thinking about how crazy it is Occupy Wall Street failed. We were really that was an ambitious-ass protest.
I mean, what was the idea?
I guess it was that, that we were sick of all these rich people having all the money and just dooming our future.
Wasn't Occupy also infiltrated by like Russians?
I don't know.
I think I was watching something about Occupy being like a bit of a psyop or something by Russians.
That seems like propaganda.
Right? But I don't know.
Should we?
I think it might have just been Russia's first step into...
Should we be pro-China on the podcast?
No, I'm not really pro-China.
But we could take that stance. We don't have to believe something to take the stance. I mean,
what China are you pro? Are you pro?
I'm pro all of it.
Communists?
I'm pro the communists. I'm pro Mao.
The PRC or the ROC? Republic of China?
Republic of China.
Republic of China?
Very pro Republic of China.
Okay, so really you would kind of be more pro Taiwan.
Yes.
But you still believe that the Republic of China is the rightful leaders of the rest of China?
Yes.
Okay, well, I got bad news. You got a real uphill battle in front of you.
Damn it.
Because right now...
I thought this was going to be easy.
No, right now you have Taiwan.
So this is nothing like
which is a very successful country for what it is. Well, it's not, I guess
this is nothing like Kendrick and Drake, right?
No, it's way different.
Well, could they at least drop a thing where it's like the president of China
okay,
is a pedophile?
So if Kendrick's Taiwan...
Like, no.
If Kendrick's Taiwan and Drake's China, that would be like if Kendrick released a diss and then Drake was able to release like 10 million disses all at once.
Wow.
I know. So that's the issue you're dealing with as the Republic of China dealing with the People's Republic of China.
That's damn.
So,
man, my life sucks right now.
Well, it's just
after
tough.
I just decided what my opinion was.
The good news is you have a lot of help from the U.S., so that's cool for you. But
hell yeah.
You got to keep making microchips, because if you stop, the U.S. doesn't need you as much. And I do have bad news. The U.S. is making their own microchips now, so they're starting to need you less.
God fucking damn
Which was the only way you...
That's all I have is the microchip.
Well, it's the only way you're protected in the world as Taiwan. And if you don't have that currency to other countries to keep you alive, then you matter less. I also got bad news. Xi Jinping is getting older. His term is supposed to end soon, and he doesn't really care. He'll probably just re-up it or whatever. I don't know. But his term's supposed to end soon. There's an anniversary of China coming up soon. By 2039, China's probably going to invade Taiwan. And chances are just take it. Nobody will really stop him, because to stop him would maybe start a big war nobody wants. So your whole Republic of China thing is probably not going to... it's probably going to end.
Well, we have another 10 years.
We got time.
Yeah, we got, it's not like it's over.
No, it's not over. It's not over till it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe 2029. I feel like it was earlier, actually.
2029.
It's coming up, though. I mean,
Damn.
It's pretty clear China has plans for Taiwan. So they're in the South China Sea a lot.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
All right, what about Palestine, though? Are they still doing good?
Do you want to be them, you're saying?
Yeah, like what if I was them?
They're not doing very well.
Ugh.
At the moment,
Fuck.
At the moment, they have two. At the moment, they have two governments in two separate places in the country that don't really talk to each other. And then outside of that, they have a government, Israel, that's kind of trying to.
How's LA doing?
LA's doing really good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's looking up.
Yeah.
It's looking up.
Yeah, we have like 200,000 people living on the streets.
Wait.
Prices of housing are going up.
Wait a minute.
There's a lot of really nice apartments being built, but
Oh.
they're too expensive. You can't afford to live in them. Most of the time, they're just bought by like really rich foreigners that never actually come to live in the apartments. It's getting hotter. It's definitely getting hotter. Water is running out. We don't have any actual water in the city. It all comes from other rivers and aqueducts. So that's running out.
God damn.
We're still a lot of water going to golf courses and landscaping and stuff.
But we're doing good, right?
We are doing good. I'll tell you why. Because global warming is really going to actually help the fossil fuel industry. Because once those ice caps melt up top, half the year the North Pole will be accessible. So we'll open up a trade route. We'll be able to trade more than ever. And also, once the Greenland ice sheet melts, it will reveal one of the largest natural gas and oil fields in the world.
Okay.
And so the fossil fuel industry will be able to go past the time we expected. Because we thought once the ice caps melted, everything would be over.
Mm-hmm.
But the good news is there's even more gas to pollute the air with that we'll get after the ice caps melt.
All right.
Yeah,
All right. Things
so-
are looking up. Things are looking up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you're hopeless if you're hopeless listening to this podcast, just know more fossil fuels are coming to you.
And there's nothing to be sad about as long as you don't mind a little water.
I love water.
If you're in Florida...
I'm a huge water fan.
Yeah, if you're in Florida, New York City, maybe one day LA, as long as you're fine with a couple inches of water just being around,
I have a toilet in my house.
that'd be kind of funny. I mean, I know it's obviously we've seen it's a lot more than that, but that'd be funny if the only effect of global warming was an inch of water in every major city and we just all decided to wear boots.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, damn. Now we look sick.
uh-oh.
Now we look so hot.
Uh-oh, every major city's got an inch of water. Time to put on your cool boots.
Yeah.
There's also like hot as fuck in some places, so it's just horribly humid. It's like steamy. You can't even see.
Yeah. Dude, it's going to be so sick. Is New York ever going to die? Like, is it ever going to fall in the ocean?
I mean, fucking like Manhattan or Brooklyn or some shit like flooded like crazy recently.
Huh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
It was like a climate fucking...
Yeah, I saw the videos of the subways getting flooded.
Yeah, so like that stuff will just kind of start happening more and more. I think it'll just start happening in more and more frequency until one day they're like, oh, I don't think we can go back to this part of New York.
Oh, okay.
And then like, I don't think we can go back to this part of Florida. I don't think we can go back. And then just more and more and more and more and more.
You know I'm from like the Pacific Palisades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've been saying I'm from Tennessee this whole time. I'm actually from the Pacific Palisades. For viewers that haven't caught up, I'm from the Pacific Palisades, and then when I was 12, we moved to North Dorchester, Boston. It's the ghetto of Boston, one of the ghettos of Boston. And we moved there just to, spread our wealth.
Did you?
No,
Yeah, I was going to say.
we didn't. Once we got there, it was a lot more desperate than we thought it was going to be. I mean, we were from the Pacific Palisades, born and raised. My family, they're also from there. They're rich. They own Paramount.
Wait, your family owns Paramount?
They own about 55% of Paramount
When did they get that?
when it was cheap.
So when was that?
Early 70s.
Cool. What does your family do with their money now?
I throw it.
At what?
Palm trees.
Oh, cool. Okay. In the Pacific.
I've seen, in the Pacific Palisades.
Yeah.
And we do skiing stuff. It's ski throw money.
Mm-hmm.
We have balls of money in our hand while we're skiing, and we throw them at dolphins.
You have such a good life.
Yeah, my life is great. I mean, I've been talking a lot of lies and stuff, pretending I'm from Tennessee, and I still have this fake accent I can't shake.
You gotta shake
I've
it.
been doing it for so long, though, because I've been trying to trick people into thinking maybe I'm, I have had a life even similar to theirs. But no. Been rich since...
What kind of house would you buy if you had a lot of money? If you had like 50?
Probably the house I grew up in Pacific Palisades, about $7 million.
Was it like was it like over a cliff?
It was near a cliff.
Okay.
It was near one.
How big was it?
Pretty big cliff.
How big was the house?
Oh, the house?
Yeah.
House is about 3-4 stories. But yeah, about 4 stories.
Near a cliff.
Near a cliff.
So you essentially lived in a small hotel on a cliff.
We had people living there. Not poor people,
Why would
rich
the house
people.
be that tall?
We needed it for the money.
What beachside house is like 5 stories tall?
We need it for the money, dude.
For the
we
money?
have so much money. We have a couple money rooms.
Oh, you don't just keep it in a bank.
Yeah. No, dude. What, you think we're trusting our millions and trillions of dollars
Yeah.
with the goddamn bank? You know what they've done to this country?
What?
Made it harder.
Yeah. Is that our political stance?
That's what the banks are out here making it harder for guys like millionaires like me and poor mofos like you.
We need to stop the banks from making it harder.
Yeah.
Making what harder? It. Doing this.
Dude, the chief of the LAPD used to come over, and he would just chill at our 5-story place. We had a bedroom for him, and it was just pictures. It was just pictures all over of cop cars.
And he would just go in there and lay down like a baby.
He had like a very nice bed.
You get a cop and you're like, hey, we got a room just for you. It's just a picture of just beating up little girls.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you're into, right?
Oh, you love this, right? It's just the word corruption written on the wall.
But it's written in like cursive the way you would like a nursery. It would say like the baby's name, but it just says corruption.
Yeah, it's like a biblical verse. It's like corruption. John 12.
In this house,
13.
In this house, we believe corruption is real. Corruption is good. And death is fake. What about the cop that doesn't believe in death?
You mean the philosopher cop?
Yeah, so he believes that death isn't the end, it's just a transfer of energy. So
Yeah.
he kills an unarmed person, and he's like, he's just going to the next state.
Dude, it would be so easy to be a cop if you were a philosopher.
He shoots a guy, and then he goes, welcome to the great beyond. And the guy's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm just a philosopher. I just know this is just a temporal place.
Yeah, people say LA has the most corrupt police force in the nation, but really what it has is the most philosophically astute collection of officers in the nation.
But they realize that a body is just a vessel. It's just a ship that we're
We
flying
aren't our
through.
bodies.
We're not. And cops are trying to prove that to you.
Yeah.
By killing you.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they kill like a poor person, then that poor person gets reincarnated as a man like me.
The cop is just telling you, he's like, stop holding on to this material body. You're so obsessed with the possession of this body. Here, I'll show you it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then you realize, like, oh.
And then that cop gets to join the cop gang that they wanted to, because you have to kill a guy to get in that gang.
Every time a cop kills somebody, the person says, I get it now. Thank you. What's up with those cop gangs?
What's up with them?
It's like, so it's
Still killing it.
So it's
That's what's up with them.
So it's within police departments. Do you have to kill somebody to be in the gang? Is that the rule?
I think in some of the sheriff's gangs, yes. I think you do have to kill somebody.
And then the point of the gang is to
sell drugs and be corrupt. And
Did they
shit.
sell drugs?
I think that they do, yes.
Cool.
Well, I mean, they're a gang.
Well, I don't know if all they did was just rob drug dealers because they're a cop gang.
They do that too, probably.
They get bricks on the street.
Yeah.
It's got to be so crazy to be a drug
Well,
dealer.
I would guess that they have like CIs that are basically like drug dealers that they probably steal bricks and then give them to the CIs, and then like the CI sells the drugs and gives them a cut. Like,
I mean, that's the way it was described in that song Cocaine by Kilo Ali, where he says they arrest you for cocaine and then they take those same drugs and they resell it to another kid who they arrest, and they just keep getting the drugs back and reselling it to other kids.
yeah, that's probably about what happens.
Is
Yeah.
essentially the idea. We could do that.
Are we trying to become? It can't be that hard to be a police officer in LA. They're looking for people.
Yeah, they are.
Like I think we have one of the smallest police forces per capita of any city.
Really?
I think maybe that's not true. Maybe it's. I just know that in comparison to all the other heavily populated cities, we have like a minuscule police force. I think we have like 9,000 police officers or something.
All right.
We don't have that many.
God,
I think we have like about the same number of sheriffs though.
it's a weird conversation. Should there be more?
Probably not.
Seems like there's too many. It seems like they're fucking everywhere. They're fucking shit up.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, in that we don't have enough police, but the police we do have are the most corrupt motherfuckers in the nation.
We just have 9,000 fools running
Yeah.
around. It is funny that a lot of cities, their police force is like, yeah, we just got 9,000 guys that run around and fuck shit up.
Yeah.
They like stop the freeway and sometimes kill a guy.
Yeah.
We just got like menaces that run around. They're essentially menaces.
Government hired menaces.
They're government hired.
Yeah, it's like if the government hired Dennis the Menace to come in and crack down on crime.
One time I saw 5 cop cars, like 10 cops, all stopped on the street surrounding just a young black kid that was just skating. And it was just so many police for something that was probably a ticket or something. I don't even know what the kid did or if he did anything, if they just all ganged up to fuck with him. But I walked by and I was like, damn, you guys got 10 cops for one guy, you fucking faggots.
Yeah.
And I called him that. And then And then the cop looked at me, and I was with our friend AJ, and he goes, "Yeah, you're walking with a guy." And I was like, "You're with
Damn,
that guy."
that's crazy. That's crazy. That not only are the police corrupt, they're also hilarious.
A uniformed police officer was like, "A little gay for you to be hanging out with a guy." And I was like,
Well-
"You're hanging out with 10 guys. What the fuck? If we're doing the guy math here, you're the gayest guy in the world. You drive around with a guy all day for work."
I walked past a guy that's from my building getting tased one time.
By the cops?
Well, a bunch of cops showed up to my building one night because somebody called the police because he was yelling at his girlfriend. And the guy, I remember my roommate said he heard the guy talking to the police, and he's like, "She was yelling at me. I was yelling at her because she accused me of cheating on her, and I did cheat on her, but..." And then,
Okay.
which is very funny. But I remember I had to park like far down the street, and I had to walk, and they were pulling the guy out of my apartment building as I got close, and I heard they throw him in the car, and he's yelling, "I want to die, I want to die, I want to die." And then I hear the zapping noise, and they zap him, and he just starts screaming in agony. And then I have to go upstairs and play video games.
They zapped him when he was already in the car?
Yes,
What the hell?
they're bad people.
It sucks. Yeah, you think about that. Almost every time anybody gets arrested, they're kind of like, "I hate my life so much. Like, mentally, I'm so defeated right now." And then the cops are like, "We're also going to tase you."
We're also going to make you feel unimaginable pain.
I
for,
think
like,
about
a
that
couple
sometimes because I
seconds.
think about like the times that I felt horrible and like I want to kill myself, and I'm like, man, if somebody also tased me, I'd be like, life is horrible. Like we people are confused why like criminals will have such a fucked up view of the world. It's like, well, the way the cops treat you, you would just assume the world is bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough to.
When authority is stabbing you in the eye with an ice pick.
Yeah, the people who are supposed to protect you are stabbing. It takes a lot to be like, this is just an individual. Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
There's a bunch of bad it's just a couple of bad apples. There just so happens to be 20 of them here.
Yeah, it's very funny too. The whole like not all cops are bad is very funny to say to a guy that's like been beaten up by the cops a lot. Just being like, it's just a few, and he's
It's
like,
just a
every
few-
time I meet them, they beat me up though. I don't know what to tell you.
It's just a few, but whenever cops show up for somebody in LA, they show up with 15 guys.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like you're saying they don't have a lot of them, but then it's like they don't have enough to do because anytime there's any fucking call, they all show up. Like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, and if you actually call the police, they're not going to show up for 3 hours.
But then you actually call them and they don't show up. So what
Yeah.
the fuck?
They're busy. They're busy being corrupt.
Pretty much anything you call the cops about, you have to tell them you have a gun. You can call it 911, just emergency line, and be like, "I'm having a heart attack," and they'll be like, "Okay," and then you'll be like, "Also, I have a gun," and they'll be like, "Holy shit, we're on the way."
Yeah.
You have a gun, you're having a heart attack? Holy shit. We're going to come and shoot you.
Yeah, I'm having a heart attack. And I'm homeless and I'm minding my own business. They're like, "We'll be right away."
Cops think their guns are defibrillators. They see some guy with a defibrillator. He's like, "That ain't working." And they go up to the guy's chest and just pop some into him. Just to make sure it works,
I think I read, because usually the city, I think LA has the most police murders of any city. I think during 2020 when all the Minneapolis stuff was happening, I think they were the top in terms of per capita though, which is interesting. It's not really interesting. It's more horribly tragic.
Yeah, I wonder how you get there, where there's just a police force like Minneapolis where you wouldn't really think of it as just killing more people than everybody else in the nation. It's like, why? Who started this?
I think usually
Whose
LA
idea?
I thought I read somewhere that like maybe it was last year that it was like February or March and there was already like 40 police shootings. It was like something crazy like that.
We need to do something to cops where there's something in their brains where they don't remember they have a gun for the first 5 minutes of the interaction. Just so if they show up to a situation and there's a homeless guy waving around a knife, screaming, scaring people, they're not like, "Oh, right, I have a gun. This situation can be over right now." They have to.
Well, if you give a guy a gun, he's like, "Well, I have the ultimate tool for fixing everything."
Yeah, you can't give a guy the very best tool if you want him to do a gentle job. You got to,
Should we take their guns away? I feel like they should. They should have their guns taken away. Because that's the big problem with taking away everyone's guns. Because then it's like the police have them.
Yeah. And they don't seem to use them well.
No.
Because the thing is, people are like, well, you take the police's guns away, then only the criminals have guns. And you're like, well, the police act like criminals. So it's sort of like...
We're kind of taking a
these
bunch
are
of
kind of
criminals'
two different
guns.
types of criminals. I think we should work on the cop criminals' guns, and then we need to work on the criminals' guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. It's like, it sucks because there is a world where a country can have free... You can have... where everybody can have as many guns as they want. But... you have to start that process at like the beginning of a nation. You can't really do it later. Once it's out of hand, it's out of hand. And so we're at a point now where we can never safely have guns, and we can also never safely take away guns. So we just sort of have to continue having guns in the really unsafe manner that we do. Because if we had a president that was like, I'm going to try and teach gun safety, it would be the same as Jimmy Carter trying to get us over to the Dewey Decimal System, where everybody's like, we don't care. Like, we can still...
We're going to add a decimal system to guns.
We're not adding a decimal system to guns.
We're going to do a Dewey Decimal System. So if you're trying to buy a gun, you have to understand the Dewey Decimal System.
That could help. Even that could help. Who knows, But yeah, it's like in Switzerland, they have more guns than Americans, and they take pride in the safety of guns and the care of guns and the whole thing about... It's all part of it. But with Americans, we just want to get to shooting as fast as we can, and we were talking about this because your family likes to file off their safeties, which is like the best example of like American gun culture is like resenting the safety function, whereas a person in Switzerland would be like, I love the safety.
I added another safety function.
It keeps me safe.
Yeah,
and they're all military trained. They're like better shots than anybody here. Like they're all, in terms of guns, bigger badasses than us. And part of it is...
Actually, we're kind of pussy.
They understand how to use them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the problem isn't really guns. It's never really been guns. It's the culture of violence we live in.
Yeah, but also just the way we approach guns has always been incorrect.
I think that ties into...
I think the culture
the culture itself is bad.
The culture makes the initial problem of not having gun safety in place even worse. Because you have a culture that doesn't respect guns at all. Like, we have no respect for guns.
Guns get no respect.
We have no respect for them. So you have that as an issue.
A gun got into a taxi, and he's like, take me where the action is, and took him to the gun's house.
And, so you have that, and then you mix it with the violent culture, and it's like, well, yeah, people are just going to start dying. I don't know why Americans, we're so obsessed with taking so much pride in the ease and the laissez-fairness of our guns. We love having a gun on the counter near a kid. It's like truly essential to the American experience of gun owning is to put your family in danger. And it's not even a joke.
Yeah.
Like, your family.
My family.
Is obsessed with having lethal, usable weapons.
When my cousin
easy access to anybody in the house.
My cousin was holding a gun with this hand, and he was holding his baby with this hand, and the baby was like trying to get the gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then his 5-year-old was like, gun.
Yeah.
Gun.
And I'm not even shitting on your family. It's just, this is everybody's family. It's like, that's, for some reason, the joy of owning guns in America, part of it is like truly linked to putting your family in danger and your children in danger. Like, they want it. They want their children to be in danger.
It's kind of exciting.
I think literally, it's just I think some people hate their fucking lives so much. They're like, every gun in the house is a much higher chance of death. So let's add 5, take off the safeties, and truly just create an experiment to see who dies first.
It's always the 3-year-old.
That's kind of the whole house. That's the whole house that you've described that part of your family has. Is just, let's see
Not part of my family.
Let's see who dies first.
Most of my family.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? They just live in houses.
They're designing a saw trap that is their home.
That's the whole point of the house, is to see who dies first. It's the only question, is we're going to drink soda and leave very unsafe guns around, and we'll just see who dies first.
We'll see.
And nobody better try and stop me.
Are we taking
from
bets?
this.
Are we taking on bets on which of my family members is getting killed?
I guess I would bet the children of the guy you were just talking about.
Huh.
Sadly, that's the answer.
Okay.
Because he's just gonna shoot himself in the penis or the leg.
Yeah. Okay. That's a smart bet.
Or maybe they'll shoot him. They might.
That's a
that
smart
happens.
bet. Yeah, that's a smart bet.
That's also funny to be like, hey, I got 2 3-year-olds in the house. Let me just set up a situation where they might walk into the living room with
and
a
shoot
gun.
my penis off.
Yeah. I mean, It's like it's all fun and games until your 3-year-old just walks in, just like double handing a gun, and you're like,
Your 3-year-old walks in like, freeze, bitch.
freeze, freeze. I'm 3.
I'm 3 years old. Why don't you suck my gun?
It'd be really impressive if a 3-year-old could hold a gun that way, because guns are heavy, you know?
Dude, what if the 3-year-old made my cousin suck the gun like a dick?
That would be a really advanced 3-year-old.
It knows how to humiliate,
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
before the kill.
Yeah, that 3-year-old really knows how to make a living hell for its victim before it kills it. Which, you know, I don't know.
Damn, thank God my family's not going to listen to most of this.
Hey, I mean, if you do, shout out, you know?
Shout out.
It's not, I don't think you're the first to do what you're doing, but
Yeah.
it's definitely crazy to just put
Love you guys. Love you
just got
guys.
death traps in there.
Love you guys. It's mostly Cooper saying this stuff. If you have a problem, it's Cooper.
I'm
It's
not
Cooper.
saying my family's smarter. I mean, we just don't, you know, we just don't own guns. Maybe if we did own guns, we'd do that too. I don't know.
He's not saying his family's smart. He's just saying they're richer.
I didn't say that.
You're just saying they just have more money than you. They, they're
You're
more
bringing
class.
that up. You're being insecure about that.
He's just saying his
classy my
family.
is.
He's saying his family's really classy. They write books and stuff.
Yeah, but I'm from the black sheep part of my family. I'm from the least successful part, so that's kind of cool.
that is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Your other part of your family, they invented heart
Stroke medication.
stroke
yeah.
medication. So yeah, if you're like snorting coke and there's some fentanyl in it, you start having a little bit of a stroke, you call up Cooper.
You call me.
You call.
Just call me.
Yeah, every time we have a friend that overdoses, they call up Cooper. They're
Right.
like, "Hey, let me talk to your uncle real
And
quick."
I always say the same thing. I go to the hospital.
And they're like, "No, man, I can't go to the hospital. They don't like me there. I'm banned from the hospital because I was causing a ruckus last time I was there."
Man, that's got to be the worst life ever. You fuck up so much, you get banned from the hospital. Then you get your arm cut off with a machete in a bum fight, and you're like, fuck, I can't go.
I can't
Have fun
go.
at the hospital, guys.
I can't go to the hospital. Last time I went, I brought a bunch of salt and I was rubbing it everywhere.
Oh,
It was hurting everybody.
all my homeless friends get to go to the hospital, have fun, leaving me.
I can't. Mr. Salt can't go to the hospital.
Real friends you are, just because I salted a babe. Just because I salted a little 2-month-old baby.
Just because I was going into surgery offices, just pouring salt in the open wounds.
Just because I found a way back to an operating room. And poured a paper bag of salt into the stomach of a man. I mean,
He woke up.
he
was open.
That would kill a guy, right? I don't know how, but that would definitely kill a guy. Like if they cut him open to like work on his stomach or like put in a lap band and then you poured like a half pound of salt, they'd just be like, "What the fuck? Like we gotta
You ruined this guy.
You ruined this guy.
Shit.
This guy's gonna start.
Shit, motherfucker.
He's gonna.
Cocksucker.
He's gonna start curing. You're about to cure this man, you cocksucker.
You piece of fucking shit.
It's funny. The whole operating room's like, "You fucking asshole!
Cocksucking piece of shit.
You just fucked this guy. He's full of salt
You
now."
fucked this motherfucker. You fucked him up. You fucked this cocksucker's motherfucking whole shit up.
We gotta flood his body. You know how long that's gonna take? We gotta fill this motherfucker up with water. Wash out all the
or
salt.
you go in and they're like, "Oh, perfect. This guy was full of slugs. That's what we were trying to get out all the slugs, but you got rid of them."
God, that's so scary. What if you're getting surgery and a guy comes by and just throws up into you?
And they're like, "Perfect. This guy hasn't been throwing up enough."
Perfect. Now this guy's got dysentery. Perfect. Perfect.
Oh, perfect. The patient's dead.
Oh, great.
That's exactly what we were trying to do when we did surgery on him.
You gave him.
We were trying to kill the guy.
You gave him trench lungs. It's like trench foot, but it's on his lungs now.
Oh, great. Oh, great. A homeless guy's taking a straight up dump in this guy's chest cavity. Exactly what I needed today.
Doing open heart surgery. Oh, well, thanks a lot for pouring dirt in there. Great. That really helps. Oh, his heart's covered in dirt.
Oh, great. There's worms. Oh, no. Put more worms in there. Hey, let me put hey, give me your pile of worms. Oh, all right. Now I'm putting worms in there.
Oh, keep
so
putting-
smart of us.
Oh, we're all so smart. Oh, yeah, no, keep putting bugs in this guy's mouth while we do surgery on. That'll be great when he wakes up.
Oh, yeah. No. He's going to love it when he finds out he's been being fucked in the face.
That'd be funny if you woke up from surgery and the doctor was like, the surgery was a success, and then you just feel stuff in your mouth and you open it and tons of spiders come out and you're like, what the fuck? And he's like, also that.
It was a success. Also, this weird guy came in and
Also bugs.
we couldn't stop him.
Hey, so your stomach might hurt a little. It's because it's covered in salt. The salt will dissolve, but a man poured salt into your gaping
Don't worry, he's
stomach.
banned from the hospital.
Don't worry, we banned him from the hospital. You're like, well, you shouldn't have let him back here anyway. They're like, I know.
We don't have enough security.
He had moxie.
We hired a black man to be security. Then the police came by, beat him up. We don't have security anymore. I'm sorry. It's the police's fault.
And after they beat him up, a bunch of coins popped out of his body, and then the cops walked around, and the coins seemed to get sucked up into their bodies. And then they got like 2 inches taller, and then they left.
The cops ate a bunch of mushrooms and started jumping on black teens.
Yeah, the cops went Mario and Luigi on these black teens. Man, now we can't have a softball game. So, sorry guys. There you go. That's your law force.
Oh yeah, real smart. Yeah, real smart of you guys to eat a flower and then throw fire at the teens.
Yeah, I'm really worried for the LAPD's Wario Luigi Day, or Waluigi Day.
Yeah.
It's like where they play their opposite selves, which they think they're good, so they're going to try and be evil, so they're just going to be double evil. They don't know they're already evil. It's really bad.
Damn, firefighters are kind of like the Wario of police.
Yeah, Johnny Dogshit just implemented the LAPD fuck shit up day. Where they go into small businesses and just start trashing the place. And they're like, compliments of the mayor. This is what the mayor wanted.
He's Johnny Dogshit, he's actually giving steroids to all the police so they can better be corrupt.
But he's also giving steroids to the homeless people.
He is.
So they're huge.
Everyone here is huge now, except for the citizens. If you own a home, you're not allowed to be huge. He's been killing all of the huge guys.
Everybody that's not a cop or a criminal is not huge, but everybody that is a cop or a criminal is now like 7'5", 380. So,
it sucks, dude. It sucks being short and completely average height.
Right.
But except like when you're short, people want to protect you. No one wants to protect an average height motherfucker.
No, you're right. You're right, and you've been right. All right, well, that's about an hour.
I think we have about probably 2 or 3 more minutes, maybe.
Oh, because they want to fuck with us.
Well, no. Well, I think because we started recording, I think there's a minute at least of us not really. So we could fill it up just by talking about how.
So we got to talk about how the LAPD went into Amoeba Music and lit a fire in the new female artist section. You think that's okay?
You guys love how LAPD they walked around and killed one armed civilian during Black History Month every single day because they wanted to ruin Black History Month.
Gosh. Wow. Holy shit, that's bleak.
That is bleak, but that's what they do.
We should start a band called Bleak.
I think there's probably a band called Bleak, and it probably is there's probably the lead singer probably looks exactly like you, but like 2 inches taller. So therefore he's hot.
Right.
Dude, if Cooper was 2 inches taller, he would be so hot.
I'd finally have a good life.
Yeah.
I think I really am right in the middle of not at all interesting to people.
No, you're pretty interesting to people.
No, I think like I'm right down of like not ugly enough, not hot enough, not short enough, not tall enough to make the whole thing less interesting than just an ugly guy. Even an ugly guy.
Do you use dating apps?
Yes.
I feel like you should get off of those.
I mean, I have.
Well,
not really
I feel like I've never used them, and I get to walk around like I'm like the coolest guy ever.
Yeah. No, you get on a dating app, you find out you're
like shit.
Yeah, you're truly just not
like
attractive.
On paper, you suck ass.
Yes.
But like I get to walk around thinking like on paper, I'm like if a woman breaks up with me, my first thought is like she fucked up. She has no clue what she just lost. And if you're on dating apps, you don't get to think that.
No.
You don't get to think blatantly wrong things.
Yeah. Now, every time a woman breaks up with me, I'm like, sure. I see it. I get it. Sure. Why not? I also just go on dating apps and I'm always like, I wonder who all these women that don't want to fuck me are fucking. I was like, are they fucking other guys on this app? Is anybody on this app fucking, or is everybody fucking outside of this app and they just have the app?
You
I
know,
don't
that's an
know.
interesting question.
You know?
I think that occasionally... You know who I think is fucking?
Who?
I think that women that are kind of attractive and guys that are attractive are fucking, but I don't think anyone else is fucking.
Why don't you think the really hot women are fucking?
I think the really hot women maybe are fucking like guys that were on firefighter calendars, maybe. But I think those guys are fucking like everybody.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, a really hot guy, I guess, has a currency.
Well, it's interesting, you know, when you talk to a really hot guy and then you realize, like, well, our lives are, they're nothing alike.
Yeah.
We have nothing in common.
Yeah.
But we're still friends, but it's like, you know, you don't live the same life I do. You're like, it's like if you were talking to a dog who can talk.
Yeah, it's like a completely different existence.
They're like basically an alien.
You hear how hot guys live and you're like, oh, wow.
Yeah, like
It's not real at all. Nothing you said is real.
Like, your idea of the world is so different. But also, like, if you were, like, a super ugly person, your idea of the world is probably so, like, damn, it sucks, dude. It sucks how, like, your physical appearance matters so much, even though we tell ourselves it doesn't. Because everybody in some level is thinking that, but they tell themselves they're not thinking about that.
Yeah. It must be interesting for people who, like, are like, yeah, crazy ugly, like hard to look at, kind of ugly. I wonder if eventually if you just sort of go like, well, there's no pressure here.
Yeah.
Because like the way I look, I'm like, I feel like a guy that looks like me should be able to have sex. And then you go out into the world and everybody's like, no.
I feel like...
What are you thinking? No. And then you're like, all right, I'm confused. I feel like I'm not that ugly. But then the world's like, you are. Just get out of here. But then really ugly people, you're like, hey, I know I'm not supposed to be here.
I do feel like
I'll
dating
get outta
apps
here.
really changed, like... I feel like less people are fucking because of them. Even though you wouldn't think that would be the case.
Maybe. I don't know. It definitely hasn't helped my confidence. I mean, I didn't have a lot to begin with, so I can't really judge how much the dating app hurt it.
Yeah, I guess the thing
know.
is, we haven't really... Tinder's been around since I was like 18, I think.
Yeah.
It's been around for as long as I've been an adult.
Yeah, I don't know how most guys think. I mean, I think most healthy people just have a more, a mind of possibilities. They go like, well, I don't know if they'll go out with me, but I think it's worth trying. In my mind, with men are just, you can fuck men as much as you want. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's soulless. But fucking with women, it's like, my thought of approaching any woman is that if she would just be like, what are you thinking? No. The answer's no. But with men, it's just like, yeah, whatever. So I just sort of begrudgingly continue fucking men. Even though I am attracted to them. But it's just sort of like, all right, I've had a lot of potatoes. I'm pretty full on potatoes. And you go to the market and they're like, you can't buy meat. Well, now I'm comparing women to meat, so that's bad.
But you are comparing guys' asses to potatoes. That's good.
So that's cool.
Yeah, you're allowed to do that. Anyway.
Yeah. It's always interesting. You just see the ugliest motherfuckers with the hottest women. And you see them and you realize they have a lot of confidence. And you're like...
I don't really see that much.
I see it a lot at the Comedy Store.
Oh.
Guys with just like gorgeous women. And they're just like these retarded fucks. But you can tell they're like, hey, like they just believe in themselves. And you're like, I guess that is all it takes, you know?
Maybe.
Believing you're allowed to be there. I don't think I'm allowed to be anywhere.
I feel like I've gone out with a couple women that used to be models, but like that shit never lasted.
What does that have to do with anything?
I was just thinking about...
You're just pussy bragging?
I guess so. I guess we were talking about
talking
it,
about
right?
how I think everybody hates me, and you're like, yeah, I dated 2 models.
I was just thinking about what you were talking... You were talking about, like, ugly guys with hot women. But, like, it's like, I guess if that's only what you're going for, you're not going to fuck that often.
Well, it's not the only thing I'm going for. I'm not going for, like, fucking 10 out of 10 blonde Barbies and shit. I'm just saying in general, most women I think are hot. I'm just like, well, they don't really want to. What's the point of that?
Damn, I'm about to get a bunch of texts that's like, hey, tell Cooper I would have sex with him. Last time you talked about how you were ugly, I had a couple women message me and tell me that you were hot.
Well, they're capping.
They're not capping, dude.
They're capping.
They're not capping.
Well, if you're not capping, then fucking fly out here.
Yeah, fly to Los Angeles. Cooper will pay for it.
Stop fucking... No, I won't.
Cooper will pay for your ticket to Los Angeles.
I have no
if you
money.
wanna
That's
come.
the real reason I'm ugly, is the no... If I had money, I wouldn't be talking about how I'm ugly. I'd just be having sex.
Damn.
I bet if I had a lot of money, I'd probably just start getting escorts and just be like the saddest fucking guy ever.
No, that's not what would happen. Anyway, let's stop the podcast. It's gotten depressing at this point. But I thought this would be a good conversation.
Nah, man. Fuck you.
Me and Cooper are the worst, most sucker MCs in the world. We have bad breath, we smell bad, and everybody that we've dated cheats on us because we're not good partners. We have bad teeth and they're rotting, and we're poor, and we come from a bad family, and there's photos of our girlfriends sucking other guys' dicks.